What's going on, guys? Seth here for TLG, doing a TLG reacts to the Silent Hill 2 remake deep dive with the devs via IGN. Apparently they sat down with 3 of the dudes working on this game and seeing what they're bringing to this new version of the iconic and classic Silent Hill 2. It's being made by Bloober Team. I have been strongly interested in this without being hyped for it, because I do believe the Bloober Team has some interesting games, but largely are unproven in terms of taking on a task this big. And I've been pretty vocal about this will either make or break Bloober Team, depending on how well this is received. If it's not received well, it will destroy them. If it's received well, it's going to elevate them. They're going to go from like the people who make like these, you know, not quite AAA horror games that are pretty cool to being like a big name. So there's a lot riding on this game. I'm very curious about that. Also, it's a Konami game. Konami has come out and said they're going to work on like 600 Silent Hill games. They're going all in on Silent Hill. And as a huge Silent Hill fan, I love Silent Hill. It's like my second favorite series of all time. Metal Gear Solid being the first one. Another Konami game. I want these Silent Hill games to be good, but Konami shot itself in the foot a long time ago, showed they don't care about their properties or their fans, and they haven't proven that they're back and taking this serious. So I won't take them serious until they can prove that. That being said, I always want good games. If you're going to attempt to make a Silent Hill game, I want you to go all in and do the best you can to make it the best game it can be. And if you're going to touch Silent Hill 2, you got to nail it. So I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping they can do it. So I'm very curious to see what they have to say about this game. They got people from the past games coming on board working on this. I know Akira Yamaoka is doing the music again, which is like super exciting because I'm a huge fan of his. He has been like a huge influence on my music and a bunch of things. So, that he's involved with it is a great sign. They got a bunch of people from the older games working on this, though. So I'm excited to see what they have to say about it. And maybe they can give me a little more faith in the project, because, like I said, I want it to be good, but I won't get my hopes up because this is Konami and I don't trust Konami. So anyway, let's jump into the video. All right, let's do this. Already starting off good. Love this song. Love all the songs. Remake Silent Hill, there was an issue of how long series had been dormant. I'm not gonna read like that this whole time.
で、サイレントヒルの影響を受けたタイトルもたくさん出てますよねと。その中であえて今サイレントヒルを復活させるとしたら、そのアイデンティティをですね、ブランドのアイデンティティをしっかり再定義して尖らせていかないと目立たないと、差別化しなきゃいけないということがありましたと。で、じゃあどういうものがブランドのアイデンティティなのかというと、トゥルーサイコロジカルホラーですというところで。なので、2をリメイクしましたし、それを中心に今回のプロジェクトを立ち上げました。
What's the one you have to nail? But if you do, people will celebrate it.
オリジナルで結構指摘の多かったコンバットデザインですね。でそこを、改善していくにあたって、クリーチャーのデザインの、そのなんて言いますか、動きというか行動からやっぱり変えないと難しい。
I'll be very curious to see what the gameplay and combat actually looks like.
踏襲しつつなんとかそこにリメイクならではの。
I'm open to them making the combat better, but don't overdo it. I don't want like that one where you're dodging all over the place.
そういった改善はいくつかの時に対しては行っています。
Which one that was? Downpour? Wasn't Downpour. Bloober Team definitely cares. They're super influenced by Silent Hill in every project they've made.
ただオリジナルだとそんなに面白くなかったコンバットがよりちゃんと楽しめるようなコンバットになるように細かいところをAI であったりとか細かいそのデザインであったりを変えたりしています。ので
Sounds promising.
なんだろう 変わってないように見えるけど変わってるっていう、よく見るとすごい変わってるっていうところがもう本当にあちこちにそういう丁寧な仕事をされていて、こんなに原作に対してリスペクトが高すぎて、逆に高すぎるんじゃないかぐらいに本当に
They need to be as excessive as possible with this game. You can't half-ass it.
今回
As
は
much as I'm sure Konami would love to.
楽曲の方を中心、オリジナルの方では効果音も全部やってたんですけど、今回は楽曲の方を、リメイク作品として、作ってるっていう感じですね。いろいろ考えたんですよ。リメイクっていうと、例えばですけど、音楽でいうと何でしょう、原曲があってアコースティックバージョンとかオーケストラバージョンとかあると思うんですけど、僕なんかそういうのってなんかこう作り手側としてなんか自分に飽きちゃってて、なんかそういうアレンジをしちゃうというか。でもリメイクに関しては、今回のリメイクに関してはやっぱりユーザーさんがここがすごいこう好きですというか、ここがすごく心に打たれましたとか、なんかそういったところをなんでしょう、変えずに作るというか、そういう音楽。
Yeah, it's rough because like he was talking in another thing about like he's making new music for it, and if it was anybody else, I'd be upset. But that it's him, I'm like, yeah,
もちろん
that's fine. But there's also like such iconic songs in that game. It's like you gotta keep those in there.
より強くというか、当時の思いをさらに今に訳して。
You could definitely modernize the songs. You can hear some of the songs nowadays, and I love them, but they sound dated. Yeah, I saw this on Twitter. They raised his age, which is fine because I guess he's 29 in the original game. He's looking a little rough for a 29-year-old, but in this, he's definitely look like he's like mid 40s or up.
大人としていろんな苦悩を味わった人間としてのジェームズを描こうということで、若干ですけど年齢を引き上げてます、設定上は。なのでより老けて見えたのはそれは間違いあります。
It's an interesting way to address the way he looks, considering a lot of people, that was their first criticism of the game, is he doesn't look the same, which he definitely doesn't, but he looks similar enough. I do prefer the original design better, though.
肌の表現までなかなかできなかったじゃないですか。だからどうしても若く見えるというか、ツルツルの皮膚になっちゃうんですけど。
That's a good point. You couldn't get the details of the skin and stuff without making the guy look like super old back then.
老人であったり、中年であったり、30過ぎであったり、そういったものが表現できるようになってきたので、それでちょっとリアルなより説得力のある年齢感にしようということになります。
Do you think it's funny how, like, in everything Japanese, though, every character is either, like, 14 to 24. And the 24-year-old's always depicted as, like, old and wise and shit. So the idea of, like, you know, the character in Silent Hill being, like, 29 is kind of weird but expected.
ブルーバーチームは高いので、そこを実際にコントローラーを持って歩いていただくと、その歩いてるからこそのこの雰囲気の怖さ。
The fog looks great if that's in game. That looks really good.
そこはイマジネーションでユーザーが補っていた部分に対して最新テクノロジーの力とブルーバーチームの努力によって具現化したこの雰囲気空間を実際歩いてみていただけると非常によくわかるんじゃないかと思います。
画面全体がそのワントーン明るくなったがゆえにその
It's a fair thing to bring up.
というのがそのスポイルされてる。
You can't fuck the atmosphere up, but the second game is so atmospheric.
PS4 の頃から言われてる問題の一つでもあると思うんですよ。
暗い画面の中でユーザーの想像力で生まれていた恐怖に対して今回は 4K の大画面で実際にそこをこう歩いたり体験するというところの恐怖に重きを置いているのでそこはですねぜひ遊んでみていただいたときに多分
I just want to see some like legit gameplay.
緻密に描かれている世界だからこそ伝わってくる恐怖ってあるんだなというそのこと そのための 4K であり、4K グラフィックであり、最新機種なので。
Yeah, and hopefully with that you can have much better lighting, better fog effects, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of thing.
それは 4K のサイレントヒルの街を楽しんでいただければと思います。
僕個人としてはそこまで心配しないでリリースを待ってほしいというところもあります。
They can nail this. I would love to see them do Silent Hill, Silent Hill 3,
僕自身が
Silent
や
Hill
っぱりサイレ
4
ントヒルのファンでもある
as
ので
remakes.
長くファンとしても続いてってほしいなっていうのは最初に20年前に作っていった自分ではあるものの、当時からずっとサイレントヒルのファンでもあるので、この後ずっと30年40年50年100年とね、このタイトルが続いていくといいな。
Well, you have to support it respectfully,
サイレントヒルの未来につ
and
いては
that will happen.
現段階では僕もちょっと、どうなるか全くもってわからないっていうのが正直なところですけど、きっとサイレントヒル1から2へ移行するときに内容が変化したように、これからのサイレントヒルの多様性を
Seems like it with all the projects they're working on,
きっと
but I feel like
ユーザー
they're
の
not all
人たち
gonna
も
land,
想像し
so
えないような
I feel like it's like a safety net for them.
なっていくんじゃないかなとは思うし、個人的にもそうなってほしいなっていうのは強くあります。
そうですね。サイレントヒルのこれからっていうところで言うと、やっぱり今回リメイクだけじゃなくて新作も複数発表させていただきましたと。でやっぱりシリーズの復活ってことをユーザーに納得していただくためには単にリメイク1本ってダメだろうと。それはもう最初から分かっていたことなのでそうしました。なので今ユーザーの皆さんは、まさにそのサイレントヒル F のような和風ホラーのものを
I think a revival of the brand would have been fine if you had one remake and one like mainline new game, but having like 6 different projects of different quality and types is a bit excessive, but hopefully we get something good out of it.
これから発表されるものもあるでしょうし、やっぱりサイレントヒルの未来がどんどん続いていくし、そこはユニークでアート性が高くてオリジナリティがあるものを出していくっていうのがこのシリーズの大事なところかなと思ってますので、シリーズを復活させるというのが僕の仕事だと思って取り組んでいます。はい、今まではちょっとサイレントヒルを復活させるということ自体が秘密だったので、なかなかですね大っぴらにみんなサイレントヒルの客を持ってきてくれと宣言できなかったので今であればある意味できるのでぜひですね全世代のサイレントヒルが大好きなデータの方たちはコナンの企画を持ってきていただければ
If that's true, some big AAA company should hit him up.
はい。
Could she really be here?
All right, well, that was the deep dive with the devs, and overall, I like what they're saying, but without seeing the game a whole lot, it's hard to still really be hyped for it. Like, everything they're saying, and it's from people that I trust, too, but they also have to sell a game, and you got to kind of read between the lines on that and see, how much of this is just building hype to sell the product and how much of it is like legitimate. And no one's going to work on a project and say like, it's not that great. But what they're saying sounds really good. They're talking about the graphics being better in 4K. That's obvious as any modern game. That should be expected. Talking about redoing the combat, though, is exciting because it's a modern game. It should have modern combat in it. They got to be careful, though, because one of the things about Silent Hill, it's always been great, is you're supposed to be just like an everyman character, every woman, whatever, who's like not proficient in combat. And so you have to maintain that to feel more vulnerable in these horror situations and not like this like elite doomslayer guy who's just going in and killing everything. So there's a balance. I'm sure they'll nail it, but they just got to be careful with that. And I'm sure they know that. Also talking about the enemies and the way they move, their AIs and stuff is very promising, very cool to hear. That's stuff I want to hear because I don't want this to just be like a straight up remake exactly like the original one with better graphics. I would take that. I would accept that because I love the original game. But there's room for improvement if you can do it. Like if they fail, doesn't mean you couldn't improve it. It just means they didn't improve it well. So I hope they have the right ideas. In terms of the music, I'm glad they're redoing the music, remaking the music, making new songs. I love that they got Akira Yamaoka back to work on that. That's very promising. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of his music, so I trust him in making the music for this game. He is the creator of the spirit and essence of Silent Hill. I mean, like Silent Hill definitely has its vibe, has its gameplay, has its visual style, but like 50% of the identity of Silent Hill is like the music and like the sound design. So, whatever he can bring to that, enhance whatever, I'll be very happy about. Them talking about increasing his age in this, that's fine. I don't know anybody who'd be like upset about that. I think it's weird, almost comical that he was a 29-year-old in the original game. When you look at that guy, he doesn't look 29. He looks busted ass for like a 29-year-old. And so this character, he doesn't look like the original character, and I kind of wish he did, but I can look past it. I know some people are like really upset about that. I would prefer he looks more like the original design, just with better graphics. But because like Silent Hill has like such an iconic visual style. All the games of the original four, the characters all look sickly. Just like they got like bags under their eyes. They're all pale, and that's like a limitation of the graphics back in the day. But they're also trying to make them look like really realistic back then too. So they had like a lot of texture to their skin, and there's just such a visual style to the character design. And this character does not have that. This character does not look like he is from a mainline Silent Hill game from back in the day. But this is their interpretation. It does look like the character. He's dressed the same color hair, all that stuff. I can accept it. I can look past it. But the age thing, I don't care. It makes more sense he would be older anyway, having lived like a life. I'm not going to talk about the story, but leading to these events. You could do that by 29, but I just don't buy it as much. So, yeah, that's cool and makes sense. And yeah, overall, I am very strongly interested in this and the many Silent Hill projects. I think out of all of them, they will get at least one to be acceptable, I hope. And out of all of them, I think Silent Hill 2 will be the one that they will probably get to the point where people will accept it enough. Unless it's like great, then awesome. But this is the one that they got to put the most work into. They can't fuck this up. They could, but they really can't do that. Because if they want to revive Silent Hill, this will be a speed bump in that process if they fail. In terms of the other games, though, Silent Hill F, the concept looks promising. I know they never showed it in the showcase for Silent Hill games, but the leaked Silent Hill with the girl and like the pieces of paper on the walls and the weird like cherry blossom monster, the one we saw the most not gameplay, concept art of, that we never saw in the showcase in South Korea. They approved ratings for a game called Silent Hill, the short message, I think it's called. And then recently they released a picture of the logo, and in the background it's a hall with a bunch of papers on the wall. So there's a good possibility that they have another Silent Hill they haven't announced, and it's probably that one, but we'll see. But I think they'll nail one of them. Silent Hill F is looking cool. I think conceptually it looks really neat. It doesn't look like the Silent Hill we expect, but it does look interesting. It looks interesting. It's colorful. It's eerie. It's very Japanese, which I think is really cool. We haven't gotten that before. And then all the other projects sound interesting enough. There's one being done by, I think it was was it Annapurna? I don't remember. That one seems pretty interesting. The team behind it seems very adamant about that they can bring something new and fresh to the table, and they sound really dedicated to try and make sure that their Silent Hill is something that lives up to the standards of what the fans want. So I do believe that a lot of these devs want to make a great game. It's just, can they? Do they have the resources? Do they have the know-how? Do they have the talent? Do they have the budget? From Konami, time will tell. We'll find out. But yeah, I want all these Silent Hill games to be good, and I need Silent Hill 2 Remake to be good. Or I don't. If they fail, I'll just be like, well, Silent Hill's been dead. It's still dead. Konami failed yet again. But we'll find out. Let me know in the comments, though, what do you guys think about this deep dive with the devs? What did you get from it? What has you interested, maybe excited, maybe pessimistic about the future of Silent Hill? Are you looking forward to the future of Silent Hill? Is there any of the projects that you think sound cool? And yeah, let me know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to Silent Hill. That's going to do it for this TLG Reacts, though. I've been Seth, and until the next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.